What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Star Wars with Daddy stream. I'm on time this week, right on the dot, ready to go. Athen gets out of work at 7:30, so he should be here in a couple minutes, hopefully, because he doesn't work too far from me. Before we kind of get into Andor, we'll just start with some rumors to kind of just get us started off with. Whatever's Star Wars community rumors. It is rumored that The Mandalorian Season 4 is supposed to start production in early 2023. I love this. I think this is a really great thing. We can kind of dive deep into this. Before we do, like I said, I love this. I think this is great. After project kind of just being delayed, having them on top of something, especially something as significant as Mandalorian the next season, I think that's really cool and important for the franchise. But without further ado, we'll get right into the article. The third season of Mandalorian has yet to be released, but the latest issue of Production Weekly has provided an update to The Mandalorian Season 4. Back in August, the same outlet claimed that production of the series was due to start at the tail end of September, which didn't come to fruition. And in more recent weeks, rumblings have started that Mandalorian Season 4 could start filming this month, as Ahsoka is due to wrap sometime this month, if it hasn't already. And members of the production crew have teased getting back to work. However, in the latest Production Weekly issue claims that production will start within the first quarter of the next year, first 3 months of 2023. Right, that's the first quarter. I lost my spot. 1 second. First quarter of next year, meaning that November rumors were likely just in relation to production starting ahead of principal photography for early next year. Currently, both Ahsoka and Skeleton Crew are both being filming at Manhattan Beach Studios in California, with Ahsoka also filming at the train yard set located in El Segundo. The former is scheduled to wrap filming sometime this month, with many supporting cast members already wrapped. And Skeleton Crew is supposedly due to wrap filming next month. Both Ahsoka and Skeleton Crew are due to release next year, along with the third season of The Mandalorian, which was reported to premiere on February 22nd, according to Making Star Wars. Okay. So if you guys wanted, this is on Best Bulletin. I think it's also on... No, it's not. Never mind. Because I think it's also on the Direct, but I don't see it on there. Regardless, like I said, this is a rumor, so nothing's confirmed as of yet. But hey, if we can get the filming started this year before the third season's officially out or around the same time, that's pretty great. Not gonna lie. I mean, it seems like sometimes they're on top of things, sometimes they're not. So when they are, it's always a great heads up. It's always something to be happy for. But again, it's not often that they are on top of projects. So the fact that they are on top of the next season Mandalorian, that's great. Not to mention, it's Mandalorian. Like, if it was Boba Fett, I'd be like, okay, it's still good, but it's not a top selling product. Mandalorian is the best product that Disney Plus has to offer. Still to this day. I can't really think of a Disney Plus production that people are begging to get as much as Mandalorian, right? I mean, Loki did fine. Kenobi was hype, but afterwards it didn't do that well, right? Mandalorian is where it's at. So the fact that we're already getting confirmed season 4, they're finally on top of it, because we've had I think it's a 2-year gap. Yeah. 2023. I think they stopped 2021. Yeah. So we've had a 2-year gap, and the fact that they're back on top of it is a good thing. We'll see, though, because it is a rumor. Nothing is confirmed. I mean, it was reported before this that it was supposed to start production in November, before the new season of Mandalorian. So that would have been even better, but still in a quarter, starting in the first quarter of the year, it's still good news regardless. Yeah. We'll ask Afton once he takes a seat.
I'm scared.
What's up, Fugly?
Not that much.
All right.
I agree with what you said there.
She is?
About Fugly. Wow.
So it's rumored, people who, I forget exactly who it was, but they had already kind of failed that it was supposed to start filming in November, and now they're saying it's going to start in the first quarter of next year. So around the time that Mandalorian Season 3 drops. Again, this is rumored. It still could start filming this year. The reason they don't think, though, is because Ahsoka and Skeleton Crew are just kind of finishing up. So they think they'll probably have a month with the different filming crews from Lucasfilm. They think they'll probably take a month off and then get back to it maybe January, February. Again, rumors. It's kind of, who cares if it's a month or 2 months apart, it's not that big of a deal. But what do you think about that Season 4 starting production, from now to, let's say, February?
I'm not a huge fan of that, honestly. I like that it's going to come out earlier, but if they mess up a lot of Season 3, and I don't think they will, but they're not going to have time for feedback. If they've already recorded and know what they want to do, that's the only quarrel I have with this. Go for it, because you're pumping it out probably another... That could easily be Season 4 coming out in 2024. I mean, it depends on how quickly they edit it. It might be late 2024.
You're right. I didn't think about the fact that Mandalorian Season 3 could be taken ill. I was just thinking Mandalorian Season 1 and 2 were nothing but bangers.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they can really mess it up, because I think Season 3 is going to top everything.
I really don't think they will mess it up, but I'm just scared that they're going to do something a little bit bad and not have feedback for it by the time they recorded it and build off of that.
Yeah, no, just because they start production, they're probably going to start production around the time of Mandalorian Season 3 dropping, which means they're not going to be near done with 4. I mean, they're going to have plenty of time for editing and feedback.
Yeah. I was more thinking of Mandalorian Season 3. What month does that drop? February? Yeah. So, yeah, I guess that is around the same time. So it's not really a problem. I was more thinking that if they started recording around January, but even if they did that, there's still a bunch of time. So that just means that we're going to be getting more Mando content. And, I mean, that's what the general public likes. I like it, too.
Okay. Did you watch the new Andor episode?
Yes, I did.
All right. You want to get into that, or do you want to kind of cover other things? There's not a whole lot to cover, but...
Let's go with the Andor.
All right. We're ready to Andor. What did you give it out of 10?
8.
8 out of 10, okay. I'd probably give it... Yeah, I'd give it an 8 as well. Maybe 8.5. It was a really good episode. I can't really decide that if it was really great because of how much character and plot development we've had, and that really helped it. I'm thinking that's probably what added so much effect for this episode. It's really got me excited that we got this in episode 10, that we still have 11 and 12.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that. We've got a lot of really cool things in this episode. I mean, a lot of action, a lot of really good acting. Whoever, I forget what his actor is, but I love his character. He's the guy who played that. He played Claw in Black Panther. He also was Snoke in the...
yeah.
I forgot to mention that last week when we were talking about it last week, but yeah. So this isn't his first Star Wars project. Anyways, I love this episode. I think it... This is what I was kind of hoping for. I was expecting the worst, but this is what I was hoping for, was that we're going to get a bunch of character development, plot development, and then towards the end of the season, it was going to really ramp up.
Yeah.
I thought we're going to have a little bit of a pinnacle at the middle of the season, kind of get us excited, keep us going, and then a couple of little slow ones. And they weren't even as slow as the first 3, but a couple slow ones, and then really ramp it up at the last 3 or 4.
I mean, that's exactly what happened.
Because that's what a good show usually does for a season.
Yeah.
And it did do it. I was hoping we were going to get, Boba Fett, where we had a super slow for everything, and then they tried to do something really crazy and big at the end. I was like, it's kind of like
throw a whole plot into 2 episodes.
Yeah, no, they did this pretty good. I'm excited because then we still have 2 episodes. Like this almost felt like it could have been a finale. Like for what Star Wars has been putting out, this felt like this would have been their finale for any other show, essentially.
Yeah.
but it wasn't, and we have 2 more, and I'm really excited for that part 2.
I mean, obviously spoilers, but I did not think that the what's the guy's name that controls the floor before they got rid of the floor?
Kino?
Kino, yeah. I thought they were going to kill that character off. I really did. And then they built off of him so much more. And I mean, just the dumb stuff they threw in there. I can't swim. Like, I mean, just dumb stuff like that. I like it. I really thought that they were going to kill off the whole floor except for Andor, but kept at least Kino.
Yeah, it's a lot of exciting. I'm just it's not what I expected. I kind of expected another filler, but the fact that we got this, it was a pleasant surprise for sure.
I was honestly expecting this to be another episode of just something that
I was expecting this episode to be about them preparing to break out.
Yeah,
that's what I was expecting.
Because that's pretty much what was that, episode 4 or whatever. They were the whole episode was them deciding, oh shoot, should we
was
really
Andor getting ready for the heist?
Yeah,
and then episode 5 was the exact same thing.
Yeah,
and episode 6 was the heist. So it was like they took 2 episodes to prepare for the heist. So I kind of figured we were gonna get the same thing, but we didn't. And that was like I said, a pleasant surprise for sure.
Yeah. And this is not the last climax, so that's a plus right there.
That's what I'm saying. It felt like seriously, out of all the shows we've been getting, this felt like this would have been its finale, which wouldn't have been bad, but it just been like, okay, that's it. The fact we have 2 more makes it even more exciting for me. So I can't wait to see how Dedra, how Luthen, how Cyril, how Andor, how I can't remember his girlfriend's name, but how all of these characters connect, because they're going to connect because they're keeping them intact. I do know we have a season 2. So I kind of keep forgetting that we're not going to get this most climactic end of the season because we have a confirmed season 2.
Mm-hmm.
But I am super excited for this.
Either way,
yeah.
It's when Andor saw. Never mind. Nothing. I was just thinking about the Rogue One, but anyway, I mean it's not going to be the end of season 1, and then we're going straight into Rogue One as you just said, but. I kind of like that because you got more building. I hope they don't turn this into Mandalorian and put 4 seasons of this out because that just wouldn't make sense in my opinion. I mean, that's a lot of character development, but
only 4 seasons.
I mean, 4 seasons is great for Mandalorian because he's a brand new character. You have a lot to build off of, and I mean, honestly, Andor you have a lot to build off of too. But I mean, I'm picturing this happening like 2.
They've already said they're only doing 2 seasons to start with, but I want to know what's wrong with 4 seasons.
I feel like right now the way they place this, Andor's mindset, if they put 4 seasons, he's going to have too much character development and pretty much become too mature for the events in Rogue One to make sense in my head, at least. Because he seems right now like kind of a freakish, like freaking out at things, like he broke the water main, he's impulsive right now, and I feel like if they had 2 more seasons of character development with that would wear off a bit, but either way, I mean, it's solid show so far, so I really don't have a problem. And of course, you can execute it well, so 4 seasons would be fine. But
like I said, I'm liking it. It's definitely, and this is just honest review. Don't watch it. Wait until it's over, then binge it, and I feel like it's gonna come out a lot better. What I usually do is I watch it through the season, watch it when it's coming out. I usually have a low appreciation for it. But then I'll watch it over again. I'll watch it with my wife, and we'll watch it through, a couple of days all at one time, like a normal person does with a normal show. And I usually like it a lot better. Like Boba Fett would have been a really bad show, in my opinion. But like watching it over with Grace, I was like, okay, I can see how this kind of comes together a little bit better. Kenobi was a lot better when it was one piece. It still wasn't great, but it was middle of the line for me. It used to be bad. Now it became middle of the line. I feel like Andor could be a kind of almost not a top tier, but like above average show if you watch it all together.
Because waiting for a whole week and then getting an episode of Boba Fett where nothing happens at all and it makes no sense kind of makes me want to slap someone. Like it's very disappointing, and that has happened in Andor too. That's just what happens. But I mean, I don't know. I think they could execute it a lot better if they dropped it kind of like they dropped Tales of the Jedi. I understand why they don't. They want to keep viewership high, so you want to keep it spread out, and then the people will come and binge watch it as well. But either way,
I don't know. I think I'm excited. I think it's got potential, especially these last 2 episodes. I think it'd be even better than what we've gotten, and there's not a whole lot to break down. Like I said. In all honesty, just wait until this stuff ends, and then go watch it all together. It's a longer series, but I think it's enjoyable.
You will not regret just waiting and watching the whole thing at once. And I mean, put it over a whole week, but not waiting a week to see a filler episode.
It's
That's
already
the worst part.
in our heads. It's even slower than it is because we have to wait a week for each episode. So
Mhm.
we kind of just dwell on the last episode a lot, and it seems even slower than it really is. So when you give us these couple slow episodes, it makes
Feels
it
like
even
a slow week.
slower for us, right? Whereas if you just have a slow episode, you can watch the next episode and the next. You're like, okay, yeah, this adds up. It's kind of I get this. This pacing's better. When you have a week in between, it's just even slower. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's probably like the biggest reason why I didn't enjoy Boba or Kenobi watching them the first time around, is because those both had a lot of slowness in them. Kenobi, I mean, it was slow, and then it tried to hype up like randomly, but
Yeah.
that's its own problem. And yeah, that's really it for Andor. I'm excited to see what the next 2 weeks bring us. We're only 2 episodes left. That flew by quick. I know we had our first 3 episodes at once, but 12 episodes, that was quick, which
Yeah.
not a bad thing. I'm excited to see what the ending comes, but time flies by quick. I'm trying to think what the next Star Wars project would be. I think it is Bad Batch. Yeah, Bad Batch. So January 4th. So this is going to bring us to the end of November. So we're going to get a month off, and then we'll get the next Star Wars production.
Which is honestly awesome.
And then it hasn't been, I guess, unconfirmed. I don't know what the word would be. That Mandalorian isn't coming out in February. So once Bad Batch comes out, it really is going to be the grind, because Bad Batch is probably going to be 16 episodes again, like last season. And that's going to take us to like freaking March. And we know we're getting a couple other shows in the spring.
Yeah.
Or games as well. So it
a lot of content.
We're finally getting some content, and we're finally getting content that isn't completely trash. Because I think Bad Batch is going to be great. I think it's going to be above average. I think Mandalorian will probably be amazing, because I have faith in it. And to be honest, I think Andor is coming out above average as well. So we're finally getting stuff that isn't below average, or average.
Just like you said, this is like the as good of an ending as the other shows that have come out, and you got another climax most likely.
Andy Serkis, that's his name. That's the actor's name for Kino.
Okay.
He played Snoke.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't remember.
It's just weird to think about. But
played Snoke. He played Smeagol.
He probably had a little bit of makeup on when he played Snoke, honestly.
You know who Smeagol is?
That sounds like a Pokemon.
Lord of the Rings?
No, I have not seen Lord of the Rings.
Smeagol, and obviously he's got a bunch of. I really love that, because that means he's in like all of these like expansive universes.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's in Lord of the Rings, which that's a huge universe. He's in Star Wars twice. He's in Marvel. It's kind of cool to see. I love when actors are like in all kinds of these big universes.
Yeah, there's that one other. I'm not even going to try and think of his name, but it's like a couple of people that do the same thing where they're in many different universes, Marvel and all that.
What's his name? Daddy Dooku he was in Lord of the Rings as well.
Yes.
He was in Star Wars, obviously. It's cool to see when actors do that. I love it, because it just shows they're not afraid to branch out and do all these crazy projects.
Yeah. I'm excited about 2023. The one expectation I will throw out before anything happens, don't delay stuff.
They're probably going to.
January 4th, am I mistaken, or is that like the only confirmed date? Bad Batch.
It's the only confirmed.
Only
date.
confirmed.
We kind of have like the trailer of Jedi Survivor that said spring 2023. So we kind of have some like things that we know are coming out during the season.
But like if Mandalorian comes out in April, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Well, they took it off the trailer, so that's kind of the worry. I can't remember exactly. It was an article we read last week, I thought, that was saying it's still rumored to come out during then.
Yeah. It was something about the source code leaked or whatever in some random...
that was Bad Batch.
That was Bad Batch? Yeah, because that was January 4th and then it was confirmed, yeah.
There you go. Reportedly released. And February 22nd. Yeah. So it's still looking like we're still going to get it early next year. So
it's not bad.
No, it's not bad by any means. I'm still excited to see how this plays out for Disney, though, because Lucasfilm's kind of struggling, and I mean, like, it shows just across the platform. People are caring more about Avatar. People are caring more about Marvel, and that's fine. People are going to have their own interests, but people who would normally care about Star Wars aren't. So, I mean,
It's sad.
and it's not the right time because Avatar, it's been like a 10-year, 15-year wait, and it's starting to rev up. DC, we just saw with Black Adam, they're getting Henry Cavill back. That universe is starting to ramp back up, right? Marvel, it looks like they're about to have a bunch of sexy movies and shows. That's going to start ramping up. So if Star Wars doesn't ramp up, I don't like it for that studio.
Yeah.
It's not going to look good for them.
A lot of good content in 2023. If they produce consistently above mid content, and I think they will based on what they have. Ahsoka, I don't know anything about.
It's not about the
Bad Batch
it's not
and
about the
Mando.
shows. What I think they need is a movie. I think they need an actual top tier movie. It's obviously not coming out in 2023 because we have no reports of it. But let's pray that something comes out of the chains and someone comes out 2024. At the very least, we need something 2025 because we were supposed to have something next year. Everything got delayed. If they delay 2025,
Good
man,
game.
because they need a movie. It's Star Wars is built on cinematic in the theater, not cinematic at home. That's just how it is. It's how it's always been. You can have it at the home. George Lucas always said that it was going to come to the house. You're gonna be able to watch it, but it's meant for the theater. That's where it originated. You still need that aspect of it. You need
Exactly.
those blockbusters, top grossing. Force Awakens kind of a deal, right? And they can do it. I know they don't believe in themselves because of how bad, a sequel trilogy did, but they have excerpts that show that they can do it because we had Rogue One, we had Solo, Force Awakens. We've had a couple of them that did come out the chain block that did great. So I don't know. I think that's what they need more. And everyone's like, make a show that's really great. Yeah, do that, but also make a freaking movie, man. You don't need to make a sequel. Just make a great movie. Make a really awesome movie.
There's
I don't
so
know about
much
what.
content.
I couldn't tell you about what, but just do it. Like a Rogue One-esque kind of a thing. Like this really intriguing story that draws people, that has good Star Wars in it.
You could do it about young Leia. There's a million different things you could do it about. And young Leia, you think about that, there's not much content shown about it right now, and there's not a ton of stuff to build off of it. But you could build off of that in so many other plots, and that's just a random person I picked. You could do it so many different plots. Honestly, a movie would be great, but 2024 would be nice. I really hope so.
I don't think we will get 2024. I really hope we do. I think we will probably get 2025. Like I said, it was supposed to be 2023, then Avatar. Well, it's supposed to be Avatar 2022, Star Wars 2023, Avatar 2024, Star Wars 2025, Avatar 2026. I think that's still what's probably going to happen, but with Star Wars missing a beat in 2023, which is fine. Those things happen, but I hope 2025 doesn't fall out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really it. Be out for the lookout. I'm gonna. Speaking of Avatar, I'm hyped for Avatar. Avatar is like Star Wars in so many different directions. It's cinematic history with the filming and what they did when they created Avatar, just like when they did with Star Wars. Right? It's a super expansive universe with a story very close to Star Wars. I mean, I can point out every single point that is very similar, if you would like. The only difference being there's not a trilogy. But with a trilogy just coming around the corner, Avatar's coming up, man. I'm super excited for it. Who knows? Maybe it'll be Disney-fied and it'll suck. But I have high hopes for this because it still is James Cameron making it, and he did the first one. So I still have hope in that. It's like if George Lucas still owned Disney, it'd probably be not Disney. If he still owned Star Wars, it'd still probably be a different story. Even if Disney bought it and George Lucas was still directing or whatever,
yeah.
It would definitely be a different story. So I still have hopes for Avatar in that sense. With that being said, I have some really fun things I want to talk about with Lego in that manner too, because I think they're taking things in the right direction regarding Avatar and just the Lego projects in general. So we're probably gonna make a video about that tonight and then release it in probably a week or two. So look out for that too.
Yes, sir.
And that's really it that I have. You got anything, Afton?
That's it for me.
All right, you guys got any questions? Go ahead and ask them. Yeah, that's really it for this week. Trying to think what else. Yep, that's it. Like I said, look out for hopefully release dates for like Mandalorian, other shows. Our videos, we're back to normal upload. We kind of had a week and a half off. We're going to be doing, every 3 days kind of upload again. So look out for that. Yeah, that's really it for this week. Remember, Star Wars with Daddy is every Thursday, 7:30. It's crazy. We've already done this for, I think, what is this? 16.
30.
This is our 16th week doing this. I still feel like this is one of our first times streaming. I know these are kind of short streams. When people stream, they stream for hours. I just like doing this for fun. While people have a chance to ask questions. If you miss it, you miss it. You know when it starts next week. It's on podcast. So it's fun. I hope you guys enjoy these as well. Yeah, anything else, Allison?
That's about it.
Well, I don't know why I said anything else. You didn't add anything.
About to say I never had anything. I'm just here to look sexy.
All right. And with that, we'll see you guys next week. Like I said, 7:30 every Thursday. If you're on podcast, please hit that follow or download. It really helps us. We're doing pretty decent on podcasts, and I would love to expand that more and start doing some more exclusives over there for you guys. And if you're on YouTube watching this later in the future, why? But if you are, subscribe, like, comment what you guys want to see, and so forth. And with that, we'll see you guys next week. Peace out.